Today we are discussing the 1930s, which was a period of immense economic hardship, the Great Depression. This wasn't just a stock market crash, it was a global crisis that sent economies spiraling downward and international trade plummeting. Today we'll see how governments reacted and how those reactions still shape our understanding of protectionism. The domino effect of the economic collapse. Imagine the scene. The US stock market crashes in 1929 and the fallout isn't confined to Wall Street. It's a chain reaction. Economies worldwide contract, jobs vanish, and trade between countries grinds to a halt. It's a level of chaos and desperation that many governments had never faced before. Protectionism, a knee-jerk reaction. Faced with such immense pressure at home, many countries turned to protectionism as an emergency measure. The idea was to build walls around their own industries, using tariffs and quotas to keep foreign competition out. The hope was to save jobs and protect national interests. The most famous example is the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930. It was like the US saying, "We'll tax your goods if you want to sell them here." It was meant to help American farmers and manufacturers, but it had the opposite effect. Other countries retaliated with their own tariffs, and the result was a global trade war that made the Depression even worse. The unintended consequences. Instead of helping, this surge of protectionism actually deepened and prolonged the Depression. It's like each country was trying to pull themselves up by their bootstraps, but they were all tangled together, so everyone fell down. Trade barriers messed up supply chains, stifled economic activity, resulted in major layoffs, and made life even harder for millions of people. In a way, this economic isolationism fueled political instability and conflict around the world. The lessons we learned. So, what's the takeaway from all of this? The Great Depression is a powerful cautionary tale about the dangers of protectionism. It's a reminder that even decisions made with good intentions can have unintended consequences, especially when it comes to the global economy. While the protectionist policies of the 1930s were eventually abandoned, they have left a lasting mark on how we think about trade today. Here's where things get interesting. Some economists argue that protectionism, while bad in the long run, might have offered short-term relief for certain industries and workers. Others say the whole thing wouldn't have been so bad if countries had just worked together instead of acting out of self-interest. It's a debate that's still relevant today. Protectionism today, is it making a comeback? Do you think protectionism is a thing of the past? Think again. Even today, when economies get shaky, those protectionist urges can bubble back up to the surface. Populist movements and worries about globalization have led some countries to think about the idea of trade barriers again. But the lessons of the Great Depression haven't been forgotten. Most experts agree that open trade, while not perfect, is essential for economic growth. The trick is figuring out how to address the downsides of globalization without throwing out the good stuff. What's next? The Great Depression and the protectionist policies that followed are a reminder that we are all in this together when it comes to the global economy. They highlight the importance of working together and keeping trade flowing even when times are tough. As we face the challenges of the modern world, understanding this history of protectionism is necessary for making smart decisions about trade policy.